Hello everyone! Yes, this channel is not dead. I am in fact back to do more videos for you, the people of this channel. So, I was supposed to do a whole, defunct series that never went anywhere, and I apologize for that. Next episode will be coming very soon. It is going to be not on the Nordiques, it's going to be on the Cleveland Barons. The who, you might be asking yourself. Yeah, sorry about that, I got caught up with stuff. So anyways, today on this video, I'm going to be talking about, what teams I don't think are going to be making the playoffs this year. And with that said, I have some marked down with stars, showing there's a possibility they might be able to make it. So, this is in no particular order. I just jotted down some teams after looking at standings and current records and things like that. So number one, I have Arizona. Arizona's an easy pick for teams that you don't think are going to be making the playoffs this year, because they're the Arizona Coyotes. You know, they've been having financial problems, they've been having game problems. They haven't had a playoff spot in years. I think it's close to a decade now. I might be wrong on that. But I have them marked down with a star because people like Domi, his name, Clayton Keller, Clayton Keller, Max Domi, Nugent Hopkins, all these players, they're doing a good job, they're putting up good points, they're putting up good numbers, they're putting out an effort this year, which is something we haven't seen from Arizona in a very long time. And I feel like if they try hard enough, they could push maybe a wild card spot. Who knows? Alright, next up, Los Angeles. I think everybody could see Los Angeles missing the playoffs this year because Los Angeles has been garbage. The Kings have not been putting out numbers. They aren't winning games. They aren't doing everything they should be doing. I feel like officiating and management and things like that are getting really frustrated with that. And, you know, people like Drew Doughty, Jonathan Quick, these people, their time in the NHL is close to done. They're getting old. Number 3, I have Ottawa. Nobody should be shocked with Ottawa. Ottawa has been horrible all year. They're not putting out the numbers they need to be. I'm sorry to all you Ottawa fans out there, but Ottawa's just, they're a garbage team this year. They've been a garbage team for a while. And I mean garbage in the most endearing way possible. They're not good. They're not putting out the numbers they need to be. So yeah, sorry Ottawa. Next up is Detroit. Detroit's got some players. They've got Dylan Larkin. They've got Nyquist still. No, they don't have Nyquist anymore. They have Dylan Larkin. And overall, it's just their team. It's not a case of them being bad. It's a case of them needing to rebuild. And if they rebuild, maybe 5 years from now, 4 years maybe, they can have another cup run. Who knows? We all know a couple years back they broke their playoff appearance streak, which was 25 years. So, who knows? Next up is the New York Islanders. Barry Trotz is now the new head coach of the Islanders, and as you know, Barry Trotz is the person that brought the Washington Capitals to the Stanley Cup Championship last year. So, good on them. And, overall, without John Tavares, you really don't have a whole lot going for you right now. Next up is the Panthers. Panthers, they have Frank Petrano now. They got him from the Boston Bruins. They still have Ekblad. Overall, they're just not showing a whole lot of potential right now. They were a star-studded team. They were the Washington Capitals. They were the Vegas Golden Knights of the 90s. Really, if you look at it, they did a lot in their first few years. And overall, I don't see them making a cup run because they're not putting up numbers. They have the players, they just don't have the potential right now. Next up is the Philadelphia Flyers, the former home of the Broad Street Bullies. back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, and national disappointment with the exception to Gritty. You know, they still have Guro, they still have Simmons, they have Gritty. So from a PR standpoint, they're doing pretty good. They're getting people into their games. They're getting people interested in the team again. But overall, when it comes to how they're playing, they're not doing so great. I mean, look at them in the current standings, which could change because it's the beginning of the weekend. And with that comes the new Super 16 stuff and all that other goodness. So, next up is New Jersey. Alright, so New Jersey is a weird one because they looked like they were coming out strong at the beginning of the season. It looked like they were doing good. It looks like they were putting up games. They were putting out wins. You know, overall, they were solid. They looked like they were doing good. Taylor Hall is having one of the best seasons he's had in his career, and overall, they're good. They're set. But they're not winning enough. I do not see them winning anytime soon. Alright, Carolina. I have Carolina on here, but I have them marked because they're actually playing very well this season, and I think Carolina has the potential to at least get a wild card spot. If not, I feel like they could pull off being a little higher in the standings because they have been higher this year. They were at the top towards the first quarter of the season, and I feel like if they do enough, they can pull a playoff spot. Who knows? Only time will tell. But they are definitely putting in wins. They're definitely winning games. And plus, there's new interest in the team due to the Hartford Whalers night they had recently. And there's another one coming up in March the 3rd. So I will definitely be watching that. Next up is Vancouver. I also have Vancouver marked. Brock Besser, Bo Horvat, all these great players they have. They're putting in wins. They are energized. But there's a possibility they may be a cup team this year. You don't know. At least a playoff team. Maybe not a cup contender, but definitely playoff contender, which I guess is the same thing. But I see them making the playoffs, but I don't see them making it past anywhere other than the conference finals. Or at least around 2. Which, you know, at least it'd be nice to see them in the playoffs again because it's been a while. Boston pretty much ruined their playoff career. But, you know, they're building up. I'm definitely been rooting for Vancouver. Next up is the Rangers. And I also have the Rangers marked down because Heinrich Lundqvist is a brick wall. I feel like if anything's going to get the Rangers to the playoffs, it's going to be Heinrich Lundqvist. If he stays healthy, they might be able to do it. But other than that, I don't see it happening. Next up is the Chicago Blackhawks. I do not see them making a cup run. I don't see them making a cup run for a very long time. John Tavares. Patrick Kane is getting old. Jonathan Taves is getting old. All of these players they had that won them a cup in 2015, 2010, they're getting old. Their potential on the ice is wearing thin, and they're not going to be playing in the next 5 years or so. So, up until then, I don't see them winning a Stanley Cup, especially with their current record, 16, 22, and 8. That's not very good. That's not a good record you want to have halfway through the season. Because those 2 points, those 1 point you get from overtime aren't going to help as much as the 2 points you get from a win. Maybe you didn't know that, Chicago, but that's kind of important if you want to make it to the playoffs. And I heard people saying they're going to make the playoffs. I don't see them making the playoffs. Look how low they've been all season. They're not going to make the cut. I don't even think they could push a wild card spot at this point. Alright, St. Louis. I see St. Louis making at least a round 1 appearance, maybe not a round 2, but I feel like they could possibly do it because when they're good, they're good. When they're bad, they're really bad. And other than that, I got nothing else to say. It's St. Louis. What is there to say about St. Louis? Alright, the Ducks. So the Ducks had a round 1 appearance last playoff in the 17-18 season, and they were swept by San Jose. And they've been putting up good games. I feel like bringing back that classic Mighty Ducks jersey as an alternate this year really helped with interest in the team, and it really helped boost them up there because they have a crowd to play for now. And overall, I just feel like there's a possibility they could get a little further and maybe win a game instead of getting swept this season. But I don't know, we just have to wait and see. And then lastly, I have the Colorado Avalanche. And I have them marked as well because they have actually been pretty good. They made the playoffs last season. They made the wild card spot. I feel like they might be able to do that again. But I'm not quite sure if it's a possibility because 11 games lost out of 14. That's the most recent. I'm pretty sure they won their last game. But overall, there's a possibility because they have been playing well. They've been playing really good lately. And they have potential to at least make a wild card spot. So if they make a wild card spot, good for them. If they don't, they don't. So, it's all up to how these teams decide to play this season. Anyway, the Funk series coming up very soon about the Cleveland Barons. I highly recommend you watch that. And thank you for watching. I'm Logan, you're the audience. Have a good one. Subscribe, don't subscribe, like, dislike, whatever you feel is necessary. See you in the next video. Have a good one, guys.